I'm going first. Freak you. All right, here we go.
Do it.
All right.
And we're switching.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day is the best Terminator movie since its release in the early 1990s, and it still has not been surpassed. James Cameron, I believe wholeheartedly that he had a fluke. He tried to imitate its success and try to up on the sequels and kept repeatedly failing. Even when he gave blessings to other directors for making his films, they still failed and they still flopped. This film right here that Paramount just sent me that I put in my video, Terminator Dark Fate. Here's another example of a waste of tin can metal for a steelbook. The franchise is dead right now. It is. It's not good. But there's one thing that has been keeping this franchise alive with hope. The Superman ray of hope, and that is because movies like Terminator 2 Judgment Day. It is one of the greatest action movies ever made. It has far better action than Die Hard. Die Hard is a solo incident, and Terminator 2 has that beautiful CGI villain who is liquid metal, cool and shit, and the graphics and shit look great for its time. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a huge charismatic performer. He's a legend. He's an icon. We just talked about young John Connor. He was excellent. Linda Hamilton in there was fire. The direction was solid. The script was bomb. That is just like a perfect action movie to me. It has more of everything that everybody ever wanted, to the point we still talk about it to this day. Die Hard is not even the best of the franchise. Go ahead, Andy.
Look, but Die Hard is the best of the franchise, and Die Hard is the best action film of all time. It is a perfect script. Perfect script. And I'll get into that. Look, I love Terminator 2. It's a sequel. It's a sequel that borrows a lot from the first. It doesn't work without the first one. And it's great, but it's a continuation. It's just another chase. It's another chase. And those T-1000 graphics do not hold up as well as you think. They're better than a lot of other effects, sure, but I have rewatched it recently. It's not all fancy, the best in the world. It's damn good for 1991. But Die Hard, man, that movie is just perfect. John McClane is an everyday guy going against Hans Gruber, arguably the best human bad guy in action movies ever. And you're just there with him as an everyday guy, watching his struggle, trying to get it done. Those iconic moments. I want to go talk. The script is so perfect because there's not one dumb, pointless beat in it. Like the moment in the plane where can you hear me?
I can't. Go ahead. I keep saying the freaking
distracted me from my thing.
Sorry.
There's everything that happens in that script is for a reason. That's why I keep saying it's perfect. The fact that the guy in the beginning of the plane is like, yeah, take your shoes off and pull your toes together and the carpets. It's just beautifully written to then lead to that moment where he's shoeless the whole time and shoot the glass. Everything falls in line. Argyle down the basement. We got Powell. We got the cop with the Twinkies on his lap trying to get home to his pregnant wife. Everything falls in line to make such a perfect story that's so engaging, so entertaining, and built a franchise that got us to Die Hard with a Vengeance, which is the one I imagine you're picking because it's also a great friggin' movie.
It's the best.
It's great. I love it. It doesn't work without the knowing where John McClane comes from. And it's a great team up. That's my problem. Like the original is always the better. Terminator is actually a great film. The original Terminator is a great film.
Are you saying it's better than T2?
It's the same movie is what I'm trying to argue. Terminator 2, I think, does it better from a technical standpoint. From a technical standpoint, but that movie doesn't work without Linda Hamilton's arc from the first one. That movie doesn't work because the Terminator comes back as the bad guy. That is the cool twist of Terminator 2 that was ruined in the trailers. But once you get over that, it's just, okay, we're getting chased. It's a chase. It's all it is a chase. There's no real arc or learning. And then, sadly, the sequels, including Dark Fate, sort of ruin it all. Now Terminator 2 just sort of doesn't hold up because all the new Terminators kind of ruin it. Yes, there are bad Die Hard sequels too, but they don't ruin the first one. Die Hard with a Vengeance, like you said, almost helps it. Die Hard 2 is silly fun. Die Hard 4, the PG-13.
Die Hard 2 makes you forget Die Hard 1, bro.
Die Hard 2 is just a retread of it, and it's not as good, but it's still
to
fun.
Another level. It made it commercial. It made Samuel Jackson's career, bro.
No, what are we talking about?
Die Hard with a Vengeance made Samuel Jackson's career.
Pulp Fiction.
Nope.
Right before that.
It was Die Hard with a Vengeance.
It didn't make his career. It helped him sort of get that.
These are out the lips of Sam Jackson himself. It was Die Hard with a Vengeance.
My point is, yes, is it good? It absolutely is good. And it's rare for a sequel to play off the first one so well, but you need the first one. And the first one, that's where I'm like, if we're grasping at straws here, how do you really say the best? Die Hard needs nothing else. If you were to put Die Hard and then take away Terminator and put Terminator 2 up,
that's your argument?
confused.
The argument is better film. I like what you're trying to do here, but it's not going to work.
For every action movie after it,
That
there were
won't
no
save
movies
you.
like it. There were no movies like it. It was supposed to be Frank Sinatra. Did you know that one? It's supposed to be Frank Sinatra based off some book, and they got Bruce Willis off of Moonlighting, and no one expected it. But that was what made it so great. It was all unexpected. Bruce Willis ended up killing it and became the action hero that he did because of that movie. Everyone just rooted for it. You root for him. And beyond that, there are twists. The script is fantastic. That scene where Hans Gruber changes the American accent. Oh, please don't shoot me. No, please don't. There are just awesome moments. I show that movie to people.
You can't compare awesome moments versus Terminator 2.
I've shown that movie to other
lose.
people, and it's always a surprise. It holds up because it's just squibs. It's squibs and explosions. T2 has a lot of that CGI stuff that still was in its early age, and it's great, even somehow to some really cheesy stuff today, but it doesn't hold up as like you think. And again, it needs that arc from the first one to really pay off. You need to know the second one, and it really is just it's a cool chase movie. What's beyond that? And now with the sequels, it's all sort of pointless. It didn't even happen.
Die Hard is a man in a building. That's the entire movie.
And it
a man
works.
in a building.
And it
Bro,
fucking works.
It works until Die Hard with a Vengeance comes out.
Works.
I'm sorry, Andy. It's not even the best film of the franchise. Die Hard with a Vengeance does everything Die Hard does on a massive scale, commercially successful, introduces Samuel Jackson, brings in Hans Gruber's brother, Simon. Guess what? John McClane is better in Die Hard 2, and so is the villain. Simon, Hans Gruber's brother, is better than Hans Gruber. They won up the entire franchise. Die Hard with a Vengeance. The Riddles of Simon, stop it. Susan B. Anthony. Come on, bro. Die Hard with a Vengeance is better than Die Hard. I'm going to be done with that. Going to Terminator 2, starting with Terminator 2, Terminator 2 is clearly a better action film because, number one, it has more action. Number two, it has better action. Number three, it's directed by James Cameron.
Don't say that.
It's cleaner action. It has more. It has higher quality. It's not hard. The budget of Die Hard is trash compared to T2. It looks way better. I'm sorry. There's practical effects and there's CG
You're
effects.
wrong on that one.
What do you mean I'm wrong? I'm factually correct. The budget is bigger.
Hard, I'm going to fight you on that. Die Hard is perfect.
He throws himself through glass walls. He doesn't do anything else.
I don't need to
shoot guns. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. T2 has both. T2 has a blend of both, bro, and that's exactly why it appeals to the masses. Many people still haven't even seen Die Hard 1.
So when things are more expensive, you're just such like a mindless drone of, where's all the money? Where's all the money? Fuck that.
You're such a simpleton. That's old school action films, bro. You're simple with that shit. It evolved. You got to come up with the times, baby. T2 changed the way we look at action films. If we're really respecting classics, how come he's guilty himself of doing it? I just saw Bruce Willis do Die Hard, Live Free, Die Hard, a whole bunch of CGI in that shit.
Terminator
he's guilty of his own thing.
Can't win that one.
Yes, I understand.
Fucked themselves way harder than Die Hard did.
What do you mean?
Genesis, Terminator Salvation, Terminator.
I know. I'm talking about the technical aspect. You're hanging your debate on. You're hanging your debate on how technical it is, but it's not. It's not. Terminator 2 has way more epic scenes. I remember crying. Give me a scene that makes you emotional. When that fool he was on that hook and he put himself into that lava and he put that thumbs up. Tears on my face, bro.
Dude,
emotionally invested. Die Hard don't have it. I fell in love with a robot.
Since he shot that kid, has to get finally pull his gun out to shoot Hans Gruber at the end of Die Hard. You forget how fucking good that movie is.
And
Bruce Willis were the original Sam Jackson.
Meet me where I said the Terminator goes down in the lava, bro. He says, now I know why you cry. Don't go. I command you. Don't do it. I order you. Now I know why you cry. When he put that freaking thumbs up, I was dead, bro. I was crying tears. Why did I fall in love with a robot? Good storytelling. That's how, Andy. Something Die Hard doesn't have. It's just a man in a building, bro. There's no script. What's the script?
That is why it wins.
It's simple. It's a film school movie.
No, hold on. You got to remember, everyone has stolen that concept. Everyone has stolen and tried to do that concept better.
Wait. Give me 3 examples. The concept. A man in a building?
Cameron, ask anybody. They're all cribbing from Die Hard.
They surpassed it. You can say whatever you want, but as a film, T2 is just bigger.
Yeah. No, name me a man in the building before Die Hard. Name me one. Who thought that would work? Who thought that would work?
It doesn't matter. It matters how good it is.
It fucking works, and it's perfect every Christmas. I watch it every fucking Christmas, and I smile, I laugh, I'm entertained. It holds up.
You watch it every Christmas?
There are so many fucking brilliant
moments. You watch Die Hard every Christmas?
Every Christmas I watch that.
Guess what I do? I watch Terminator 2 as many times as I can in the year. I don't wait till Christmas. I watch that shit every day, bro. You're a Christmas motherfucker. That's why you love Die Hard. T2 is good all day long. It keeps coming out in theaters. The fans love it. It spawned the greater franchise, bro. It has a huge fan base because Terminator's better.
Ooh, far out, dude. It's like full of 90s bullshit that doesn't actually
90s bullshit. Yippee-ki-yay! 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 That shit is...
motherfucker. Does not order a fucking pizza, lady? Dude, I can get it all day.
I'll be back. What's up? Got him. I'll be back. They still talk about that to this day. I'll be back is more iconic than anything Die Hard got.
Did you watch Linda Hamilton do it in Dark Fate?
Yeah, that shit was trash, but she still said it.
I'll
be back. Better slogans, better action hero, better directed, a better story. It kills Die Hard. Script, story, direction, acting, actors, spectacle. It kills Die Hard.
No, it doesn't.
Die Hard is minor league, bro.
Terminator 2 isn't perfect script. It's a great thriller.
Fantastic.
That script with Edward Furlong and him walking around.
It's amazing.
It doesn't make any sense. It's fun. As a kid, I loved it because I related to him. Like, oh, cool. It's like the Iron Giant. It's like a kid and his robot. Look, but it's not actually that well written.
I just saw Arnold Schwarzenegger on Hollywood Boulevard like a couple of years ago with a doppelganger looking at people saying, I'll be back. In his Terminator. Exactly. Terminator is the most iconic action franchise of all time. And you're trying to compare Die Hard to it. It's not there.
You're disrespecting the original. You're disrespecting the classic. In 1988, Die Hard changed the game for action.
I'm disrespecting Terminator?
Yeah, no, you're disrespecting Die Hard. I think you're calling it shit. I'm not calling to you.
No, it's not. No, I'm not calling it trash.
I'm
not calling Die Hard trash. What are you talking about? I'm just saying that there's another one that's actually better. You cannot name me another Terminator movie better than T2.
I think. Look, I don't want to get bogged down in semantics.
No. Answer that question. What movie's better than T2?
Terminator 2 is a better sci-fi movie. Absolutely.
Stop it, man. Come on. Die Hard with a Vengeance is clearly better than Die Hard, and the world will tell you so. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. That went a little bit longer than the 10 minutes because the clock had reset, but, freak it. All right, man.
Believe in what we're arguing.
I know. We got the minute clock. Let me see. You are up on that one, Andy. It's you.
Look, I like T2. I like Cameron. It is great. It is a follow-up to the first one. It doesn't exist without the first one. And it's not necessarily all the evil, but you need to know Linda Hamilton's arc. It doesn't work when you don't have Sarah Connor knowing where she came from and then, that's why she's so stuck. You don't know it. The Terminator was evil, and then he comes back and he's good. These are interesting twists that made it a sequel that works. But you take those away, it's still the same goddamn movie as the first one. It's a robot chasing them, trying to kill them. That's all it is. And then there are a lot of slow parts in it. It's not. There are great moments. There's iconic moments, but the ending is a little kind of cheesy. It is. But I still liked it as a kid. Die Hard is a perfect movie from beginning to end. Everything in that script serves a purpose. When he's eating the candy bar, when Al, you're downplaying Al's involvement. He is so crucial to that story. He killed a kid with a gun and then pulls it out to shoot Hans Gruber. How about Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber? I love Robert Patrick. Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber is one of our best villains ever.
Time. Nice. Good job by you, Andy, but I'm sorry that I have to be the one to do this. I will need it.
Repeat yourself?
No, here we go. All right, so let me go ahead and finish this thing off. Terminator 2 Judgment Day is easily the best film of the entire franchise. It can never be replicated. I'm not trying to disrespect Die Hard because Die Hard is a good movie, but honestly, unequivocally, I'm saying it right now, and most of the world agrees with me on this. Die Hard with a Vengeance is way better than Die Hard. It just is. More fans, more people love it. It got usurped within its own franchise. I just threw out the best one of the franchise, and not just the franchise, the best action film of the action genre. People always reference Terminator 2 Judgment Day. That's why we got 4 failing movies, because they wanted to replicate Terminator 2 Judgment Day. That is the staple. It is the sequence that every other action film wants to mimic. He can tell you Die Hard all they want. That's a lost and forgotten film when it comes to action movies, because Die Hard with a Vengeance is better. Terminator 2 has better one-liners, is better directed with a better director, better written, better acted upon, has a better cast, actually has a story and it's more emotional. How can you make me fall in love with a robot? You do that by having a fire script. Time. All right.
Everything you said is false.
Everything you said was a freaking lie. You're a freaking
Everything you
liar.
said was false. Better script,
freaking
better
liar.
acting. Give me a fucking break.
You really wait. No, hold on now. You really believe that Terminator 2 does not have a better script than Die Hard?
Absolutely. A Die Hard.
What are you time travel? What are you talking about? It's a more complex story.
As a filmmaker, you gotta go back and watch them both back to back. I'm telling you.
I got him up here.
Terminator 2 is the same premise. So therefore, it already loses on script.
What do you mean the same premise, bro? What do you mean you got John Connor? You added in the son. You added in John Connor into the story. Come on.
Dude, you can't tell me Terminator 2 is a better script because it's the same fucking script as Terminator.
It's not the same. What are you talking about? Two different films.
Fucking premise. They just switched some stuff
They
around.
They had a baby, bro, and now they're coming back to kill his son.
Same fucking movie with fancier effects.
Okay.
It is the same fucking movie. Just like Die Hard with a Vengeance is
I can't believe you're going to argue
sillier, buddy version of Die Hard 1. You can't say Die Hard is not a perfect script. It is a fucking perfect script. Everything in that movie works. Go rewatch it, everybody. I don't care if I win or lose, but out of respect to fucking Die Hard, I love With a Vengeance. Die Hard is fucking perfect.
It's perfect. Oh my god.
It doesn't need to go into the future with fucking robots like James Cameron.
You're talking about Die Hard with a Vengeance right now.
Again. It didn't need any of that shit. It needed a fucking dude with his shoes off in a fucking building just trying to get the fuck out of L.A.
Why don't you?
Fucking brilliant.
Oh, now we understand why you're biased to this sheet. Mr. I'm getting out of L.A. Nah, Mr. I want to get out of L.A. just like you did. You left L.A. and went to Florida. You know that he had to get out of L.A. and you reside with that. You have that in your heart. You got personal stakes in this movie, huh?
No, I've argued this when I was in L.A. at Screen.
In all honesty, though, I really want to know, how is it, I'm being 100% honest here, how is it that you can say Die Hard is better than Die Hard with a Vengeance? It just is so much more epic.
There are parts of Die Hard with a Vengeance that are great. That scene where he goes out in Compton with the billboard.
Jesus!
It's great.
I thought you said his name was Jesus. He said no, hey Zeus, like falling over Apollo, God of Thunder.
It's a buddy cop where they made Samuel Jackson make funny one-liners, but the third act of that movie is pretty fucking crazy and it's stupid. I like it. It's dumb, fun action movie. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
It's amazing.
Die Hard just works. It makes no sense why they're going on a wild goose chase around the setting. It's just like one-upping. It's a sequel with a bigger budget and a crazier thing, and it works. I'll give it. It was another script, and then they sort of shoehorned the Die Hard part of it in. But I thought it was pretty well done. But you know why? Because John McTiernan. You're giving all the camera. McTiernan, Predator, Die Hard with a Vengeance. McTiernan is a fucking legend.
He's tight.
Especially in the 80s, made some fucking awesome shit. And he knew what he was doing. He didn't do part 2. And he came back with a Vengeance and brought that fucking fire.
Did he die?
No, I think he went to jail, though, for tax. Something with him happened.
Yeah, okay.